Hello interwebs, and thanks for tuning into TradeChat. My name's Panzer, and today I'm going to be showing you the Mist of Pandaria warrior talent tree changes. I hope you enjoy this video, and if you do, remember to rate it thumbs up. So starting this video off, I do want to mention I'm obviously formatting this a little differently than I've done the talent changes in the past, so let me know what you think of this format in the comments below when the video is over. But in the meantime, let's get right into the warrior talent tree. Obviously, you still have the same specializations as you do now, Arms, Fury, and Protection, Arms and Fury being DPS, and Protection being Tank, but let's get right into the talents. The level 15 warrior talents all have to do with the charge ability. You'll have the option between Juggernaut, which allows you to use charge every 12 seconds instead of every 20 seconds, Double Time, which allows you to use charge 2 times before its cooldown, and Warbringer, which charge also will stun the target for 3 seconds. If you were a PvP warrior, the obvious choice would be Warbringer, though I think I would probably choose Double Time for leveling or tanking. The level 30 warrior talent tree all has to do with healing abilities. You'll have the option between Enraged Regeneration, which instantly heals you for 10% of your health, and then an additional 10% over 5 seconds. It can be used while enraged or while stunned and has a 1-minute cooldown. Second Wind, which causes you to, whenever you're struck by a stun or immobilize effect, you automatically generate 20 rage over 10 seconds, and whenever you take direct damage, you have a 10% chance to regenerate 10% of your health over 10 seconds. And Impending Victory, which replaces Victory Rush and instantly attacks the target, causing damage and healing you for 10% of your maximum health. If used within 20 seconds after you kill an enemy that yields experience or honor, it'll also heal you for 20% of your maximum health. If this were me, I would probably choose the Impending Victory ability because I'm still leveling my warrior, she's not max level, so I use Victory Rush pretty much to lead off almost every fight, so I would choose this because it would also heal me, and 20% is a lot. It would make a really big difference while I was leveling. The level 45 warrior talents all have to do with AoE crowd control. You'll have the option between Staggering Shout, which instantly causes all enemies within 20 yards that are snared to become rooted for 5 seconds. This has a 40-second cooldown, and just looking at this at a glance, this seems like a really lame ability. It seems really weird that like anybody who is already like snared then will become rooted. I feel like the people that aren't snared are going to be your biggest threats, and it's not going to do anything to them, but that's just my opinion. The next option is Piercing Howl, which reduces movement speed by 50% for 15 seconds of all enemies within 20 yards. This to me seems like a much better ability than Staggering Shout. And the last option is Disrupting Shout, which interrupts all spell casting within 10 yards and prevents any spell in that school being cast for 4 seconds, and this has a 40-second cooldown. If I had to choose between these 3 abilities, I would probably choose Disrupting Shout because a silence is a really effective thing to have whether you're PvPing or PvEing, but if I were not to go for the silencing ability, I would definitely go for Piercing Howl. Staggering Shout seems like a very circumstantial ability. Maybe if you had a very specific build for an arena team, this would be super useful, but without knowing what your partners in group are going to be using, I'm not sure how much you would actually be able to use Staggering Shout. The level 60 warrior abilities all have to do with AoE. You'll have the option of Blade Storm, which strikes all targets within 8 yards for 75% weapon damage every 1 second for 6 seconds. You're also immune to any movement impairing effects or loss of control effects, but you can be disarmed and you can only perform shout abilities while under the effects, and it has a 90-second cooldown. Shockwave, which instantly causes damage and stuns all enemies within 10 yards in front of the warrior for 4 seconds and has a 20-second cooldown. Or Dragon Roar, which causes damage to all enemies within 8 yards, knocks them back and knocks them down for 3 seconds, and this ability always crits. It has a 1-minute cooldown. I think all the level 60 warrior abilities are really good. If I was DPSing, I would probably choose Blade Storm. If I was tanking, I would choose Shockwave. And if I was PvPing, I would choose Dragon Roar. I think all of the abilities could be used very effectively in the correct situation. The level 75 warrior talents all are in place to help protect party or raid members. The first ability is Mass Spell Reflection, which causes Spell Reflection to protect you from an additional spell and protects party and raid members within 20 yards for 5 seconds. Safeguard, which replaces Intervene, removes movement impairing effects and causes you to run at a high speed to a party or raid member. You intercept their next attack, and it reduces their damage taken by 20% for 6 seconds and has a 30-second cooldown. or Vigilance, which transfers 30% of your targeted party or raid member's damage taken to you for 12 seconds. During Vigilance, Taunt has no cooldown, and attacks against the target cause you to become enraged for 6 seconds. At level 75, Mass Spell Reflect seems to be the clear loser in my opinion. Safeguard would be a great PvP ability, especially in like arenas. It removes your movement impairing effects. It intercepts an ability from hitting a partner. That seems like an excellent arena ability to me. And Vigilance it just has tank written all over it. You're protecting a party member. It definitely is a tank ability. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure what the situation to use Master Spell Reflect would be, but I do know that if I was tanking, I would choose Vigilance, and if I was PvPing, I would choose Safeguard. The level 90 warrior abilities all have to do with increasing your damage. Avatar transforms you into a Colossus for 20 seconds. It increases your damage dealt by 20% and generates an additional 50% rage. While transformed, you're immune to movement impairing effects. Bloodbath causes you for 12 seconds. Your special attacks cause the target to bleed for an additional 30% damage over 6 seconds. While bleeding, the target's movement speed is reduced by 50%. This has a 1-minute cooldown. The last ability is Stormbolt, which hurls your weapon at an enemy, causing 100% weapon damage and stuns the target for 3 seconds. This deals an additional 300% weapon damage to targets permanently immune to stun and has a 30-second cooldown. All of the level 90 warrior abilities seem really useful to me, and I'm really not sure which one I would pick, especially being that I don't have a max level warrior. So that's my question for you today. At level 90, which spec do you play, and which talent would you choose for that spec, and why? Let me know in the comments below, and while you're thinking about that, check out today's screenshot of the day. And it looks like that's my cue, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Remember to comment, thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you soon. For more information regarding talents and specializations in Mists of Pandaria, click anywhere on your screen and you'll be redirected to a hub that my friend Hobbs put together where a bunch of YouTubers are collaborating to make videos on these topics. I hope you guys find it useful and interesting, and let them know I sent you. Have a great day!